everybody, welcome to the channel. Today's video we will be addressing numerous items on the build sheet. We're going to install the four-wheel drive shifter. We're going to put our new drive shaft in there, which is very expensive. We're going to adjust the fuel pump pressure from our Fast 150 that we found in the shop when I bought it. Numerous other little items on the list, such as coolant temp sensor, wiring, all the shebang. It is a quite fun-filled video, but I encourage you to check out my Instagram, Samson_Andrew_, and also check out VBELTANDSON.com for your merchandise, hats, t-shirts, keychains, stickers, all available there. But until, enjoy the video, guys. Let's go. Heater core lines, air conditioner stuff, it's all plumbed in. It's really funny, you wouldn't really expect stuff like this to just eat up a bunch of time. But tracking down the bolts, buying new bolts, welding new, like this is all thread in there. I tried to turn it into so it just was one big bolt, so I welded the top, ground her down, we got that involved. I got an oversized fitting for the pump right here. And then going down into here, I needed to reduce it to the little stuff for the fast, and then I wanted to put a fuel pressure on there. I got to turn up the pressure on that. Maybe we'll get to that this round. The little sensor finally showed up. So let's see if she plugs in. This is my coolant temp sensor. I got those fancy shrink wraps with a little solder in the middle, and then I put a regular shrink wrap over the top. Shrink wrap. So let's make sure. Okay, we're good on that note. But this, it looks like 1/8 inch pipe thread. It's not what I need, but we'll see. Yeah. Well, it looks like we're gonna make a bushing. Go in there. Actually, I think I got something right there. Hang on one second, let's check. The inventory of parts that I have has helped out a lot, but then some of you guys have stepped in not only with knowledge, but inventory on parts and stuff like that. I've reached out to you guys. One thing I want to ask for you guys, if anybody has a set of 2nd gen inner door panels that are black, because the interior is going to be mainly black, let me know, because that would be super. We got a little adapter. Let's see if we can make this work. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to figure it out though. There's always something. It's another one of them times where just saving your extra parts. This is from some kit for a set of gauges or something from back in the day, and I just kept this little bushing. Intake horn drilled and tapped for the boost gauge. That stuff's over there. There we go. More. Yeah. Get that thread in there better than that. But you see how the sensor's actually exposed? And then that'll be my adapter. We'll stick us in there. Hopefully that will work. So there was a couple spots where I needed some wire loom. I needed about, I don't know, maybe 4 feet. And in town they wanted like $8 for 5 feet. Or you could buy that. That's 100 foot of 1/4 inch for like 13 bucks. And then 50 feet of half for like 10. So good old Amazon. They're installed. I think that'll work, but I might try to make another little bushing, because that little guy, I don't know, it's not very trustworthy, but Mach 1. We got a bunch of it left over for a fraction of the price. For those of you guys that don't know, this is the original temp sensor for the 12 valve. Big old blocky sucker, and that's the plug that I got for that little guy. This is a huge pipe thread on there. So I was debating, because this, I don't know, I wasn't really liking how that little bushing was working, so I was like, maybe I'll just leave this in there and drill and tap in the side of this elbow. But then I was like, maybe there's another spot. And then lo and behold, there's a plug right there on the bottom, and we're gonna see if I can just thread this in there, because where'd it go? This little gem might just be able to plug right into it. So many hours trying to find that other sensor, and then I just spent like 30 minutes screwing with the bushing. Let's see if this works. Oh. Hope this fits, because that I won't put it back. Oh, that's good. It fits! Oh my lord. I did so much time and energy trying to find something. Gosh dang it. Could have probably even put it there. I think that one's a smaller size down there, but shit. Maybe we can just plug her in. It's not ideal, but she's gonna work, boys. She will work. And I'll leave this stock one in there. I do realize that that will be on the opposite side of the thermostat. I'm gonna throw a new one in there because the one I kind of speculate. I don't know. Sometimes I kind of doubt this engine or the engine builder. We'll see how she holds. We're pretty far invested now. We're gonna send it, but I got an extra thermostat. Sink that sucker in there, install it, and then put that sensor in the bottom and make sure it's tucked in and out of the harm's way. We got a little rusty, crusty dust came out of that garbage. We're gonna send it. "100% not an ideal spot, but we are gonna live with that." That is the last sensor that is crucial. RPM, coolant temp, and oil pressure. As far as the engine goes, I'm going to do boost, EGT, and the fuel pressure, which I'm going to dive into right now. Fast to adjust the fuel pressure on it, there's a little spring behind the return fitting right there. So right now it's running at about 13 psi. We want to juice that up to probably at least 30, 35. Regretfully, I bought a sensor for 30 psi only. So we're going to mess with that now and see if we can stretch this. Maybe we'll have to just buy a new one, but we're going to try it.
Yep, there's definitely spring right there.
I was going to say, don't lose the ball. If you guys didn't know, this fast was in this shop when I bought it. It is brand new. I don't know what year this thing is, but yeah. I always thought I would put it on here. Oh, it's a fast 150. I thought it was a 95 this whole time. Hadn't even looked. But let's see what the pressure's up to now. Make sure. Oh, it sounded like a leak. Nope. Spraying into that thing like it should. Alright, let's see what the pressure's up to. It was 13. Let's see if that helped. Oh, we're up to 20. That's better. That gave us 7 psi, that ½ inch of spread. So, I guess we could stretch it some more. Or I could just order a spring. Probably just order a spring. We got her up. It's enough to get the truck running. I know it will. Because the guy that fired this engine up when it was on the engine stand, he fired it up and used this little dinky little junker piece of crap. So that's good enough. Let's move on to something else. We got some fancy stuff for these. Because the interior, like I said, is going to be black. So let's add some more black to the mixture. So I tried to find new sun visors. This one, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But couldn't find new sun visors and I wanted black ones. These will match them black seats. This thing's super elastic or something. That's not gonna, son of a bitch. What does that say right there? What the hell? 94 to 01 Dodge Ram 2500. I'm gonna rip one. That way, because backwards. Maybe it will. What? Alright, the way that didn't make sense. Alright. What do you know, it actually worked. I was nervous for a second. You don't start from this end, you start from that end, and you stretch the big old looped end over it. Doesn't make sense, but see where I'm going for there? There we are. She's coming together, boys. I had to wait to do that before I put the dash in. So I'll put these on so it holds this up there pretty good. And then I might put the dash in right now. What do you guys think? Hey, hey. There we go. Look at that, nice and black. All the little details that go into putting a whole truck back together, it is very ridiculous. But I think I am at the point where I'm going to put the dash back in it. You got to drop the steering column with these two nuts right here, and then you set the dash right here, and over there the same thing, and it hinges up on there. I think I'm at the spot where I can install that thing. There's one piece that I was trying to figure out where the wires were for, but dash has been in that box for months. Just like this little thing, I didn't even show it right here. Taylor came down and we're talking. But I take this thing all the way apart, clean it all up so it looks brand new. Did that to this whole thing here. There's a couple little spots that's stained. I'm going to touch it up more when I get it in the truck. But just look how clean I got that thing in there. Yeah, I even put the stick shift block out plate in there. But this is what I was trying to find, because it had remote unlock and lock, so I wanted to find that sucker. But all the details, all the details. Let's throw some more details in there. Put some new weather stripping on her so that our blend doors work properly. Just for the hell of it. Well, that was a chore right there by myself, but I got her in there. Just, this dash is like 300 bucks. It's a complete replacement, and I'm just leery about hurting a brand new one. Despite the, or actually, you know what, that thing goes down there. I got that on the wrong side. I need to flip that down there. To keep it in the grandma status, because if you guys didn't know, this was my grandmother's truck. She bought it brand new back in '97. And what's kind of neat is I'm going to leave the factory rear seat in it that I sat in when she drove it off the lot when it was brand new. But to protect the old second gen dash, I've never really had bad experience with an early second gen dash. It's the later ones that always had trouble. This would have been, well, this truck was an exception. It got beat up. 100% grandma style. 4th gen Laramie seats. Hopefully that settles a little bit because it looks like hell right now. Oh, we don't have the bezel on there. but I kind of wanted to have more black accenting. So this thing was pretty dang cheap actually, so figured I'd throw it on there, try it out. I have the carpet, I have the seats, I have the back seat, I have the roof in. I need to get a new windshield. I have, where'd it go? The stick shift thing, and somebody's gonna send me the inner one. So I'll have all that I need for that. Much appreciated. And again, if you guys have the door panels, comment below, email me. Email's in the description as always. Let me know. I got the piece of the puzzle I've been searching high and low for, and I bit the bullet. One of you guys actually sent me a link to this website to buy this product, and I'd already actually sent them a message in regards to buying one. But you can buy the front drive shaft at O'Reilly or Napa for NV5600, NV4500, and your automatic. But the rear drive shaft has proven to be a mother to find. And this one's a single piece, and I cannot wait to put it on there. So, it is a hoss. Holy crap. Single piece, big shaft, aluminum. Holy shit. Come on. 25 inches is the measurement. Let's see if she fits. Oh man. I'm so nervous about this thing not fitting because it was really, really, really expensive for a drive shaft. Not really that bad, but it sucked. For the price I paid for this, I believe it was worth it because I've wasted so much time trying to find one of these out of a used truck. If you're gonna do a swap from an automatic to a stick shift, it's best if you buy a complete donor truck to get all your parts. Fit, please fit, please fit. 600 degrees in here again. Oh, watch out, muffler. Wow, it allows for 3/8 of slippage up here, which I don't know, that feels really tight, but these guys are experts, so they know what they're doing. Oh, she fits, boys. She fits. So many hours wasted trying to find a used one. Way easier just to bite the bullet. This thing was about 800 bucks. And then I got new seals in this thing's about another 100 bucks, and then the new input shaft, which is about 60-70 bucks. So just converting this thing over, plus new seals and the drive shaft, yeah, adds up quick. But we got her. And then the front drive shaft is about 300. So here's the front drive shaft. That's the one I bought at O'Reilly. This is the one that I had made 1/2 inch too long for the G56. I actually kind of like this better. It's completely rebuilt, and it costs 300 to have it lengthened and rebuilt, and it costs 300 for a brand new one. So it is a following morning. I'm working on her again. Saturday. Let's try and harness what I got going on here. Oh. So the 4-wheel drive shifter on the early second gens would be mounted to the transmission. The later ones, it was mounted to the floor. So I bought this off eBay. This is I think it's out of a Dodge Dakota or something. And so I'm trying to mount this thing up onto the floor. I think I'm gonna have to trim this piece off over here to get my leather boot on there, and one of you fellas is gonna be nice enough to send me the ring that goes, it'd be like this except for not rotted out. It's gonna be here on Monday, so I got a couple days to kill before that. But you can see the seam right here, which that thing sits on. That's the dust ring. So I'm gonna take this piece and put it on the bottom, I'm pretty sure. Just tack her up on there, trim this side off, and I'll still maintain these bolts right here. Self-tap it into there. Thinking. The order of events leading up to this, because I got the insulation down already, and I was kind of hoping that I didn't need to weld, because I thought I was going to make something else. But this is what we got, so I'm just going to tack her, go easy on it, and try not to set this thing on fire. self-tappers holding my shifter down. It's kind of short throw, so you skip 4 high, it seems like most of the time, go to neutral, and then 4 low is kind of a difficult one to get to, but difficult one to get out of more than. But we actually do have a short throw for the MD5600. Never ran one of those before. You're gonna be curious to see how that works, but I think we are good. I'm gonna pull that thing out, weld that up, paint it. I'm gonna work out some other stuff because that was monotonous, tedious, and annoying. Check this out. It has been a long time since those worked. We're not quite ready to start the engine yet. I gotta hook up a couple things. I want to dry fire it before I put everything on it, make sure I got no fuel leaks or oil leaks. I got a mechanical gauge set up over there. But speaking of gauges, we got some more to add. We got fuel pressure, which is going to be a little bit lower than I want. So aside from this, the boost gauge right here, all the rest of them are nice and friendly and have just a little disconnect on the back, so you don't have to thread the gauge beforehand. Shrink wrap connectors make life a little bit easier. Yeah, good stuff. Damn good stuff. It's really cheap too. Alright, I'm gonna do that to the rest of those. Boom, boom. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something like that. I just got back from a barbecue. A bunch of Taylor's old friends are in town, so we went and hung out with them. It was a good time. But today's progress, I'm going to just combine these two videos. I have, the shifter is installed for the 4-wheel drive. That was a big thing to knock off the list. I'm going to try and cage this in, finish the welding, knock this stuff back. I'm pretty bummed that it hurt the insulation job. I was pretty proud of that. But it is what it is. As far as the engine, I'm using the same starter that came out of Grandma's, and I think it might be a little tired, but I'm going to try to squeeze a lifetime warranty out of another starter out of O'Reilly, you know what I'm saying? Got to work the magic. Get a new one of those, but I'm having trouble. I got the, jumped the wires for putting it in park for the automatic, so it should start based on that. And then the neutral safety switch for pushing in the clutch, I got that jumped. But I'm still getting no power to the solenoid, and it's not cranking. I don't know what it is. I kind of messed with it for a couple hours trying to figure out some stuff, but it could be just one simple little stupid ground, because you need to have little ground, little ground, little ground, bunch of little grounds all hooked up, and then, you know, could be the littlest thing. But I want to point out my coolant temp sense that I put down there. I wasn't very happy with that, so what I did is it was number 6 JIC. I channeled it down, cut it off, and ground it to fit this thing and drilled and tapped for the number 8, so I have the coolant temp sensor in the correct position. But when I go to fire up the truck, I want to fire it up as it sits right here, so I'm going to have to do some more digging and figure out what's going on. Maybe you guys know. Most of the time, it's something stupid that I'm overlooking, and I've knocked off the common things. But when we do fire it up, I will have a mechanical oil pressure gauge to make sure all is firing up. I have the dipstick installed. That's the original one off Grandma's. It's showing that the oil level is a little high. I don't know if that will translate different based on 12-valve dipstick versus 24-valve engine. This is backwards from what it would normally be for your grid heat, and I want to leave the grid heat on there because it does get kind of cold around here, and I've just never really been a fan of grid heat deleting. So that's all in place. It just, instead of being on the verticals, it's on the side post now. So that's all fine and dandy. And the blow-by tube, or I guess just crankcase vent kind of a thing, I got an extension, gonna droop that down there. Might get a catch can for it, don't know. But if I fire it up like this, yes, it's not gonna have the boost or any of that. It's gonna sound stupid. It doesn't even have the exhaust on it, but I will be able to see if I have any leaks. And you know, that is something I want to make sure I get taken care of and addressed before I start covering everything up, because right now it is very easily accessible. So, but for the interior and all that stuff, I said it before, I'll say it again. If you find yourself a donor truck, it makes it so much easier. I bought the green truck as a donor truck, and it had a clean California pre-smog title, which is awesome, but I wanted to save that truck, and I'm very happy I did. And then same thing with the purple truck. I kind of bought that as I could, you know, steal parts off of it. So far, that green or the purple truck, the 98 12 valve, it only needs the front end, and then I'm probably gonna paint that thing and sell that. But I'm kind of debating on, if this boot doesn't work out, which I really hope it does, that I'm going to go ahead and just put the late second gen stuff in there. But man, it is a process, but I wanted to leave all that in there. I'll just make this one good long video so you guys that like to question me on the fact that it takes so long to do this, and there's so much little tedious stuff. It looks the same as it did the other day, but so much more has happened, so much more figuring stuff out, so much more redesigning stuff. Boone's over here throwing up. But it's late. We're going to go inside, edit this up for you guys. Just for reference, this video will be ready for you guys July 19th. 10. Oh. Let's go get it. See you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know about those questions I asked. If you guys have any input, I always appreciate the advice. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later, old son.